Why, hello everyone, and welcome to the stream. This is Otaku Showboat. Today is Thursday, March 3rd, 2022. It's 3/3/2022. Oh boy. So, when we last met, uh, we had, uh, we had Cox out and about doing work on the internet lines. And I thought that they were done by the time that I started the stream after the internet being out for about an hour or so prior to the stream starting. They were not done. They cut the internet a little bit before the halfway point of Tuesday's stream. And what I ended up doing was eventually stopping the stream and bringing it back up later on in the day at about the usual end time for the stream. And I continued and actually got done the things that I wanted to get done on Tuesday, which were Super Steel, Helium, and Super Alloy. Now, we did the Super Alloy down here. Here it is in all its beautiful glory. Wonderful and beautiful Super Alloy. Getting made about 5 units per second. Somewhere I have the Super Steel. Here's the Super Steel in all of its beautiful, wonderful glory. Made with all of the wonderful things, including a bunch of lead and 20% uranium powder. Helium is somewhere. Helium. Helium. It's way up here, because of course it is. The helium is being made out of Fagnot gas bladders. Gas bladders into rich gas. This is the simplest way of getting into helium, as far as I am aware, and as far as I'm concerned, particularly because you don't have to make the helium exclusive input called ethanolamine. Ethanolamine really only used here. Oh, it's apparently also used for GTA. I completely forgot that it's also used for GTA, but whatever. The problem with ethanolamine and using it for helium is that it needs a whole bunch of alien bacteria. And I don't like this stuff that much. It uses a lot of basic substrate in particular, as well as petri dishes, as well as serine. And serine will require comouts to be set up. Oh boy. Yeah, it's one of those things. It's going to need comouts to get into it. We're going to need to do it anyway for the GTA, but not yet. Fortunately, not yet. And by the time I get into that science, I will have better recipes, ideally, for getting into the comouts and such. The methyl acrylate is not bad whatsoever. That's fine for it, but we can completely dodge it by going the route of gas putters. However, I don't think I'm going to be dodging it in the long term, because I would like to get my helium out of regolite processing, because I haven't really done that before. I haven't really done regolite processing before. I would like to do it this time around. My previous playthroughs I made helium primarily out of liquid petroleum rather than out of the regolites. Of course, the very first time I did this, I actually got my initial helium out of the cold clean air processing, which was the only, I think, real way, or a way of getting a trace amount of stuffs to kick the process off to get enough things to get a science to do stuff. But anyway, that's from what we did during our previous stream. I have done a few things between streams, nowhere near as much as I would usually get done between streams. Of course, we only had a day, but still, I actually took most of my day yesterday and just was reading. I just read some light novels yesterday, a couple, well, one in its entirety, and actually no, I think I did two in their entirety. Yes, two of them. I was reading Reincarnated as the Last of My Kind, volumes 2 and 3, having already finished volume 1 right before that. So this right here is sodium hydroxide production. How much? 300 per second. And I have chosen not to do this productively because it would be a lot bigger, and I didn't really want to have like beacon stuff to try to reduce the building counts in here. It's already a lot of buildings, and it actually saves quite a few buildings by not doing productivity, and it's not really needed all that much because it's really, really cheap to begin with to do this. Like, do I really care that it takes a few more units of salt? Not really. Do I really care that it takes a fraction of one extra Ziffo? Not really. So this is making, as I said, 300 units of sodium hydroxide. Without productivity, that means it's taking 300 units of salt and converting it into sodium hydroxide through this process. But it also needs slaked lime, which is water plus lime. And lime we can now get straight up from Ziffo. How much Ziffo? Yeah, about that, see? This actually, where is it? I had it somewhere. Maybe? Here. 1.7. Hello, good morning. 1.7 Ziffo makes enough lime to make 300 units per second of sodium hydroxide. If you compare this to the standard way of getting lime out of coke, you would be spending significantly more coke. Ahem. Yeah, times this by 10. Yeah, you would be spending a lot more coke, and if you do it productively, yeah, more like 200. Yeah, you would have to do productivity here to save the coke. But you also, if you were doing this, chances are you would be doing the actual slaked lime loop, which gets a little bit complicated with the limestone. You would have to like void excess limestone here if doing productivity on everything, if trying to do this the normal way to get 300 units per second out. 166.1, even with the productivity, is a lot more than 1.7. Ziffo. There's a lot more than 1.7 of this. So rather than doing the slaked lime loop, I'm just making my lime out of Ziffo and not worrying about recycling the limestone. I'm just deleting all of it. I am burning all of that limestone in here. So yeah, it does need a bit of coke to burn the limestone that's being produced out of this, the 150 per second, up to 150 per second that it would end up burning. So yeah, that ended up being the build. Yeah, it's a lot. It's you know, 10 red belts of sodium hydroxide getting made, getting consumed as well, because I did all of this with the intent of making 15 per second, and then some, of course, because I'll have a lot more than that left over, of the sodium sulfate. So I also have this set up somewhere to give me at least 15 per second. It's right over here. This is where I originally had my sodium sulfate build. It had a lot of extra stuff. I was like making sodium hydroxide locally out of saline water, and making the sulfuric acid locally out of the sulfur here, and I brought in like the iron for it as well. I've repurposed this whole factory here to produce a lot more sodium sulfate. It should be about a yellow belt's worth of throughput, 15 per second, with the ability to expand further, considering I do have, up to 10 belts of throughput of the sodium hydroxide. Although it's going to get used for a whole bunch of other stuff around the base, not just here. This is just a really big, huge consumer of sodium hydroxide overall. And this is productive, by the way. This is good. Very productive. Speaking of productive, one other thing that we did last time was set up Mark II logistics robots, because I finally got the super steel in order to do so. And the thing about the Mark II logistics robots, as well as the Mark II construction robots, is you can use productivity modules to produce the Mark II robots. And by the way, you can use productivity modules to produce the high-tech robots. I don't think that ever got fixed. And I have pointed out this before, like as far back as my first playthrough. So I'm at this point going to say that this is intended, because Pyandon was watching and listening to all of that series, especially when I talked about this, and didn't remove it. So I'll take the lack of action as a tacit endorsement. You can't do it on the Mark 1s, as far as I'm aware. They don't. It doesn't let you do it on the Mark 1s, but it does let you do it on the Mark 2s and the high-techs. And all of the bots have been replaced. I, as it turns out, had already enabled, and had this whole time, the bot recaller mod on. So I just made some recall chests and pulled out all of the Mark 1 bots from the network to upgrade to Mark 2. And I did the same with the construction bots, so I've already upgraded all of my construction bots to Mark 2 in this network. See, over here in members, we've got a few units of both of these things. I will need to do the exact same thing once I get into high-tech bots much later on. These Mark II bots are faster, they're wonderful, and they're glorious. Turns out I also have logistics warehouses available. So I made storage depots. As it turns out, storage depots, like storage in general, of the shed, storehouse, warehouse, and deposit here, they like gain a ton of slots for their storage variants. A regular depot has 800 storage slots. The storage depot has 2,000. The warehouse normally has 450. The storage warehouse gets 1,000. The storehouse usually has 150. The storage storehouse gets 300. And the shed normally has 75. It goes up to 150. So these two double, and the other two more than double their capacity on these storage chests. So it's like, okay, I guess I'm going to carry storage deposits around now. And because of that, I was able to replace all of my standard storage chests over here, like however many, 100 of them or so, with 2 entities. So I took a whole bunch of storage entities and consolidated them down into 2. It's wonderful and glorious that I was able to actually do that. What else have I done? I have scaled crushed quartz up here by an additional 30 per second. I will be needing all of that 30 per second extra crushed quartz going forward here at some point. Took the time to reconfigure my setup over here. As it turns out, each one of these crystal mines with Bodo's modules is able to output slightly more than 5 red belts each, which, as it turns out, each one of these builds is using 5 red belts. So it's like 1 crystal mine feeds the 30 out of the powdered quartz and crushed quartz. So, yeah, it's convenient. Highly convenient. What else? I have scaled my iron oxide production. I have doubled the iron oxide production by an additional 2 red belts, 60 per second. I mentioned the sodium sulfate already. I have now, if you were not aware, all of these things are ingredients for making something very specific, that being phosphate glass. Right over here. Phosphate glass. It is one of those things that uses up a whole bunch of ingredients that I already have, but it uses a ton of them. And I wanted to spare you the, at bare minimum, the scaling, but you know what? I decided to just make the thing anyway, because it's just one of those very simple builds where you are just building a train station to supply a single building, basically, single line of building, 1 step here. So I just did it and provided the phosphate glass. It eats up iron oxide, phosphate rocks, crushed quartz, sodium sulfate, acetylene, and a fluid fuel, which could be acetylene, but I went with the kerosene because it's higher fuel value than acetylene and a lot cheaper to make. Thus why I doubled my iron oxide and added another 30 crushed quartz, which was also doubling, and why I scaled up the sodium sulfate. So I did all of that just to get into here to get a whole 5 phosphate glass out. I wish there was a better recipe for this, a more efficient way of doing this, or I wish it took productivity, but unfortunately it does not. At least it takes efficiency to reduce the fluid fuel for it, but oh my gosh, it's just expensive. Now, why did I want to get into the phosphate glass? Well, I wanted to get into the phosphate glass because I need it for a few of the codices to make creatures. A few codices require phosphate glass, so I went ahead and did that then and there. I don't have everything I need for quite a few of the animals at this point, but getting the phosphate glass was required to get into Dingrits. Why there's only 2 in there, I don't know. Like, what happened? Why only 2? Why only 2, Dingrit? What are you waiting on? I've got the codices, and I've got this guy going. It's got a few wolf samples going on. Oh. Huh? Ah, I see. So that's what happened. The artificial blood wasn't coming in. Well, that helps. So now I have Dingrits available. I also went and I made Xenos, because as it turns out, I completely forgot about the existence of Xenos. So that's happening too. It also needs the artificial blood, so I only had 2 of you as well. They will accrue. They will accrue for a while. The unfortunate part about Xenos is I don't need them for anything. They're super expensive to set up, and they don't really make anything of value for me. The only real special things they've got going for them are they give you chitin and they give you sulfuric acid as their blood, which I like. Oh, well, another way of getting sulfuric acid. It's not cheap. It's extremely expensive to try to get sulfuric acid out of Xenos. It's just not viable, and under any circumstances, even on the very late stage of the game, it's not a viable way. It does not beat out any other way of getting sulfuric acid. Like, there's an entire plant dedicated to the production of sulfuric acid and like acid gas, and that's cadaveric aurum. That the plant is better than the animal by far. So it's like, okay, well, what else does this have? It has chitin, and it's really expensive to get into chitin as well. I think it's one of the higher outputs, but it's not something I'd go for. It gives 4 baseline on chitin, which is the most per animal until you consider how many animals you're feeding Xenos. Like, you have to think how many animals went into the making of this Xeno. A few. The answer is a few. Ahem. If I want 5 chitin out, we are spending essentially an entire Mukmo and a fifth of an Ulrich and 1.7 fish just to get, 5 chitin. Worth it? No, not in the slightest. The better alternative on chitin, I believe, is Dilmos, which give 1 fewer units of chitin. It gives 3 by default. Let's get this properly set in here with the correct modules. So it would end up being 4.2 Dilmos, but of course we'd be raising cubs, and they'll be coming from eggs. The point here is that they are not spending other creatures. We're not spending other creatures. Oh, look, you actually get more eggs. This is one of those few, along with Xenos, that actually give you more eggs on the better processes. It's like, okay, sure, what's going to be the best? Like, let's look at worst case scenario. That sounds wonderful. Worst case scenario, it's like 15 chitin is 110 Dilmos. That's actually not that bad. Like, this is cheap. This is cheap to get 15 chitin out. Like, this is super cheap. Which is why I want to get into Dilmos at some point. The problem with them is that I will need great alien samples. All roads at this point are pushing to get great alien samples. I'm going to be blocked on basically everything until I get into those rather shortly here. Okay, moving on. I am preparing for progression as well by scaling up and producing more grade 4 copper. I now have an area dedicated exclusively to making grade 4 copper. This is actually my second build that's producing some of that on the train network over here at copper, molten, grade 4, and plates. I do have, this is like 6.5 per second of grade 4 copper from a red belt. It's just this same build copied 2 more times. So I just added another however much, 13 per second of grade 4 copper. We need it for the graphene rolls. For the whole graphene chain, that's going to be needed rather shortly. But we're going to do some other things before that. I've also started making melamine resin on the train network. Previously, I had done some overflow melamine resin from circuit 1s, but now I am producing it. Now I'm using this train station that's outputting all of my uranium ore. I am now producing 30 per second of it dedicated. It's something we've already made, so really the only thing that's different here is that I'm making it out of remotely produced ammonia and cyanic. I'm making it out of... I'm making the formaldehyde out of the molybdenum ore-based recipe. And really, that's about it. It doesn't actually consume that much ammonia and cyanic to make the melamine. I was a little surprised for the given output here. It's not that bad, all things considered, when you have abiotic ammonia making the cyanic as well. It uses a lot of urea if trying to do the ammonia cyanic out of urea, but because we're not doing that out of urea anymore, it ends up being quite a, dare I say, cheap build to make 30 melamine resin. This is not a lot of stuff in the grand scheme of things to get into a whole 30 of the melamine resin, and you know, close to 2 red belts of melamine. If we were to have a dedicated melamine build, I don't know why I would have a dedicated melamine build. I mean, I don't really think. You know, it's actually not that bad for that much plastic. Now that I'm looking at it, it's like, it's not actually all that bad for plastic. I'll need melamine for Resilin eventually. Huh. And the empty neuromorphic chips. So I might have to do a dedicated melamine build at some point. It's providing a whole bunch of melamine. Might convert my plastic to melamine. Now that I'm looking at that, it's like, oh, this isn't as bad as previously for this. So at this point in the game, I might consider it rather than spending iron oxide and ethylene. Yeah, so rather than spending the bitumen and lead, rather than spending bitumen and lead to get into the ethylene and spending all the other stuff to get the iron oxide to make the plastic. I mean, the iron oxide is using ammonia anyway, so it's like, huh, maybe it would be better to do the melamine into plastic in the grand scheme. But I'll have a look. I'll research. The only other thing I did this morning was set up a build for advanced small parts on the train network. It's gonna make up to 7.5 per second, but I don't think I have enough nylon production or titanium at the moment. I'm unsure of my titanium output, but I'm pretty sure I don't have the nylon to sustain this in perpetuity. Pretty sure I have the sticks for it, but yeah, it's I needed advanced small parts put onto the train network because I plan on putting my special small parts on the train network. So, special small parts is the goal. I want to get into these ideally today, at bare minimum, in particular because I want to set up Vatbrain biocomputing to make production science. Now, I believe I don't have any Vatbrain biocomputers at the moment because they need brains. Yeah, they need brains. I'm pretty sure I'm bringing Ulrich into the mall. Yeah, I'm bringing Ulrich here at the least. If I wanted to be efficient, I would bring in Arthurians for this, but nah. Nah. Give me my slaughterhouses. I'm just going to slaughter some Arthurians. This also means I need to cage them. Huh. Well, put that... Excuse me, not that one. Put that there. Put that there. You're making... from Ulrich some brains. You are going to cage me the Ulrich. Come on, place that. Ulrich. This is gonna request cages, although I don't know how many cages I have here. 0 is the answer. Alright. Didn't want to do it. Gonna do it. Whoops. Forgot that that button doesn't actually work from remote. It's good to have the cages being brought in. I usually... because I will now be able to actually request cages to the mall here. And this, I can get one of these. There we go. That should solve brains for the moment, at least. And it will allow me to build out those Vatbrain biocomputers here in the mall. So I can actually start getting at least a trickle, at least a small trickle of the purple science. Because the only thing I don't have to do the purple science at a trickle, tiny, tiny, tiny amount, is the special small parts. And really the main thing that we're missing out of these special small parts at the moment just so happens to be Aerogel. Aerogel is the biggest production chain that I don't have here. I mean, yeah, there's things that are rather complex, like the glass fibers, like the nanocrystalline cellulose, and the Nenbit matrix, that I really should think about having separately in separate factories, but I'm going to be lazy for making these special small parts. Really only looking at 1 per second of output here, ideally. So still need the aerogel. Aerogel, we are basically now ready to make. This is why I scaled up the melamine resin between videos here, or between streams here. This is why I scaled up melamine resin and why I went so hard on the sodium hydroxide, why I really overproduced it, because we do need a lot of sodium hydroxide and quite a bit of melamine resin for this resorcinol, which is also, I think, used for something else. It's used for epoxy, and I will want some epoxy, I believe, going forward. I already have the acetone. That could be a big pain in the rear end, but I already have 1,000 units per second of production of acetone. So that leaves just building this. I mean, even this can be simplified further because it uses limestone, and I can make that just a water requirement made local. And yeah, it's just like 5 inputs to get into the aerogel. Do I need the aerogel at the mall? Absolutely. I will absolutely need the aerogel at the mall. And by the way, between streams, I have died a couple more times. I now have 12 deaths. I have now died 12 times. I actually died twice doing these small parts, advanced small parts. I died twice in here with these advanced small parts. Getting hit by incoming trains. This morning, actually, is when that was happening. Alright, give me one of these, give me a pin on this, and I'm going to need the stuff. Right, the stuff. Give me evaporators. Summary. I have enough of those. I need 13 at least. Mixers, so give me mixers. Give me more of the high pressure furnaces. Give me the fluidized bed reactors. And that should be it. That should be it. I should have everything else. So once I get this stuff, we'll be good to go. Huzzah. Alright, let's do this. You know what? Let's do this here. I think this will be fine. Right below this phosphate glass build. Making use of the space I have without having to continue to expand the base, at least not on stream anyway. Alright, do we have everything? Yes, we do, it looks like. So off we go. Let's build a doohickey. So I will need 1 additional solid input and then 2 fluid inputs. There we go. Station basically complete. Figured lately I should actually start building out those ghost entities while I'm driving over here, while my locomotive is taking me to the destination, making more efficient use of time. Oh, there you go. Hope I have enough rail for all this. My power is actually fine for the moment, although I'm fearful of what will happen when I start doing Vatbrain biocomputing for purple science, considering how much of the other sciences it's going to consume. And when I start doing tech. Because, yeah, I wanted to get into the gold phytomining primarily. Yeah, I wanted to get here to get the gold enriched biomass in particular, because that's going to be my route into the best way of getting gasoline in the game. I need to get gold-enriched biomass access so I can make gasoline via moondrops, actually. So that much is required. What's other useful purple techs that I would want? Gold processing, definitely. What else is going to be more useful to me? Like, immediately useful to me. Technically, these are more useful to me because this is incredibly higher output honey. Right, the simic digestion. Simics stage 3 transmutation. Then the other two are locked by utility science. I don't know why Intense Transmutation 5 is locked behind a utility science Simic upgrade when it is a purple science only. Same thing here. Like, why is the Mark IV just Pi Science? Why is the Mark IV just Pi Science and yet it's locked behind purple? Like, it's like these things are requiring something they shouldn't require. Like, it should be 3, then 4, without this extra Simic Stage 3 requirement. I don't know. Balance, I guess, something like that. Could get the battery upgrades at purple. What else is immediately useful? Oh, right, we start getting the extra outputs of individual products. Those would all be useful. Getting the extra blood, bones, guts, brains, lard, meat, etc. Those would be useful. The cargo size, not as immediately useful. The Carriagen's nice, but I can't make the building yet, so it's not immediately useful. I'm looking for immediate tech upgrade, like of use, stuff that's of immediate use. Don't know. There's some specialty product upgrades. There's bacon. So duh, bacon. There's the regolite mining. So sure, that can be our queue at the start here. Let's see, 15. Is that 15? Yes, it is. Let's build a build. Build a build. Yes, very, very wonderful English there. Build this factory. Let's go. Ta-da! Power? Yay, power. Water! Gotta give water for it to actually work. There we go. That is the limestone. By the way, are you set to matrix? No, of course not. Why would you be... Why would you be set to matrix, Oliver? Okay. 1, 2, 3. Water, water, water. Water. I need your oxygen. Power, power. You know what? I'm gonna steal my setup here. I mean, may as well, right? Let's see, that's the methane in, and that's the, moly ore in. Oh boy, that's a lot of sodium hydroxide. Yeah, I'm thinking... we're gonna set it up this way, just because I want to cut that in half. And we'll have... we need to bring 2 belts from the station anyway for the sodium hydroxide. I can split the melamine resin. There we go. Ta-da! Give power to the everything. Connect. I said connect. There we go. Power! That's gonna make resourcinol. Yeah, I'm probably gonna need a copy paste of this for whenever I do resourcinol later on. Okay, next 13 mixers. 13 mixers mixing. You need 2 solids. That's fine. That works out wonderfully. Yeah, I figured that doesn't reach. So we'll put that type of a setup. I'm making this in such a way that I am able to scale it out. I'm not going to have that one there. I'm going to do that for that specific section so I can copy this and paste and paste, 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 paste. Now that should be everything powered along that line. And there we go. That is the wrong direction for this belt, though. Ahem. Let's just reverse that belt direction. There we go. Better. Much better. I'll need to combine the limestone with the resourcinol. There we go. Fortunately, it's less than 15 per second on that limestone there, so we'll be good, and that's going to make the RF gel on the output. From there, we need to clean it, clear it. This will output some tailings I'll need to delete. Fortunately, this is still a solid that I'm dealing with here. Okay, the power can go on that side. Of every setup? Yeah. There we go. There's the clear RF gel. Just add water. Ta-da. 5 more. This time adding acetone and getting out a fluid. Whoops, I don't actually need those. Ta-da. This soaked gel needs evaporation. To actually make our solid aerogel. And that, as they say, shall be that. There is the aerogel. S aerogel. D aerogel. Alright, now for train station stuff. Actually, doing the logistics. Let's get the first item in, I believe, is the moly ore plus the methane. So let's get the methane first. This will be from the top furthest away. Our methane at aerogel, which means by process of elimination, this is our acetone at aerogel. All right, methane and acetone. Good old nail polish remover. Grab you. I don't know, for some reason I've always liked the smell of nail polish remover. I don't know why. And I like the smell of gasoline as well. It's like this stuff that people tend to hate. It's like I don't mind. For some reason, don't know why. Just it doesn't bother me. Right, there's both of the fluids taken care of. Let's get these solids taken care of now. Doesn't need to go that high. Probably doesn't even need to be that high. Alright, starting from the end. This is what kills me, by the way, every time, is working from the top down is a lot more dangerous than working from the bottom up. Request moly ore at aerogel. Oh, Ollie. We've got a kitty. We've got a kitty cat hunting. There's something flying around. I think I saw out of the corner of my eye. There's something flying, and the cats see it. Ollie sees it, I think, and he's going to try to hunt it. It's not even... Oh yeah, there is an actual housefly. It's on my light up there. It landed. That's the first housefly I've seen of the year. It's so early though. Why are you... Ugh. Feels like it's too early for them to be out, but here we are. They're out. They're out and about. And gnats. Oh boy. Alright, next up we've got the sodium hydroxide double belt. Gotta be reds this time. Quest NaOH at Aerogel. Okay, this is not gonna be convenient to just go straight, so I'll have to do this like this. Hello, Ollie. And he's gone. Alright, hello, sodium hydroxide. A bunch of. Next up we have the melamine resin. Oh, is that the end? Is that the last? Okay. Armella. My keyboard space bar, it has a tendency to double space. It's been like that for a good long while. Da-da. Alright. That should be that for the aerogel, if I am not completely mistaken. I need to, you know, actually hook up the formaldehyde. That would help. That would help just a little bit. And then once the melamine resin comes in, that'll be the resorcinol, and that's the RF gel, and thus the clear gel. Acetone's here to make the soaked gel, and just evaporate to get the aerogel at the end. And unfortunately, none of these steps are productive. I wish that this was productive on evaporation. At the very least, I wish that this was productive, but nope. I wish they were all productive, but washers don't allow productivity modules, and this just doesn't... It's not included among the other recipes. Making RF gel is productive, so at least we've got that, and making resorcinol is productive, so at least we've got that, as well as the formaldehyde. So it's not like we're missing out completely. I always want more. More! More! There we go. We've got our first aerogel coming in. Ta-da! Now, it's only 5 per second, but I can have 3 slots on you. Supply, depot, full cargo, circuit, condition, auto, magic. our aerogel. De-aerogel, save that, and we are now good to go. Okay. Are all of these now moving? All of these are now moving. Ah, I have forgotten. This is why we stick around. Gotta sink the tailings. Gotta sink the tailings. That's gonna be required. Yep. All the wonderful little balls. Hello, Dolly. Both of the kitties are here now. In the office. We'll see if they come say hi. They're more concerned with the fly, I think. All right, go on back. Now to stock up on something else. Other things. Now that we have Aerogel, let's work directly on the special small parts. Oh, joy. Now this is a build. Now this is one hell of a train station. Just so we're clear on that, this will be big. A rather sizable train station. We're looking at more than 20 input stations here. Alright, so how many solids do we got? We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. That's actually going to be more than that. Yeah, so about the niobium titanium, I'd have to take a detour to make that. Do I even have the molten titanium? I don't think I've done the titanium yet. I don't remember. Have I? I don't think so. I've done the tin. I don't remember doing the titanium. Yeah, I'm pretty sure I have not done the titanium yet. I would have it as a fluid. And I mentioned that I was going to do something different with the titanium. So because I haven't really done that, I will stick with this and get the thing by DDC recipe for the nitrogen. Yes, I've got an Ollie. He's on the desk. Ah, boy. That just makes this an even bigger train station. Oh, boy. Oh, joy, oh, bliss. Let's make sure we're actually at the minimum counts on here. So, again, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16 solid inputs. Okay, I'm gonna need to have more of those. And then how many fluid inputs? We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Which means I'm going to need more tanks. I have enough tanks for 5 fluid inputs, not 6. I'm assuming I counted correctly. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Now those steam, the steams there, that's going to be kerosene. So I don't need to worry about those steams being like an input onto this. Yeah, that'll be that. So where the heck am I going to fit this this thing that's going to have like, you know, a ton of stations? Well, let's start by requesting the buildings, shall we? And while I'm requesting the buildings, I'll work on the train station. Nanomaterial factory. Clay pit. Excuse me? Duh. Oh, it was there. Okay. I have tar processing units. I have heavy oil refineries. I need a wood processing unit. I need the heat exchangers. Where do those live? Where do those live? Hello? Aren't they in fusion? Yes, here. I will need a smelter and DDCs, which I also have already. So not too many things that I needed, actually, as infrastructure. All right. Give me a spot for a rather large train station. The factory is also a bunch of steps, too, so I need a lot of space available. Ish. There's space here. The only thing is that I sort of wanted to use the whole thing for abiotic ammonia, but whatever. I have enough space to double it, triple it even, or at least double it in here, and if I need more, I can just build it elsewhere. Okay, well, since this is also partially in the fog, I can't really work on building the station until I get there. So let's get there as quickly as possible. I think this is going to be enough space for the station. I think it better be, because that's going to be not nice. Trying to move the thing up a bit more. I also will not have anywhere near enough rail on me. So I will absolutely have to grab more rail from the train. I hope even that's going to be enough. This is definitely going to be the bulk of our time today. Okay, how many did I say? Did I say like 16 solids? Oh. You didn't bring me all the bulk rail loaders. Huh. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. Yep. We have 2. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. $16. Ahem. That's one way to get 16. Put down a Megadar so I can actually, you know, see what I'm doing. Okay, that should be, yep, 16, and then it was what? More than 5? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6? It was 6, right? Fluid inputs? Oh boy. I believe that's 6. Yep. And hey, we had enough space. Ta-da! Do I have enough rail? If that says over 674 on all of that. Fortunately, I think we just barely have enough. It's gonna be really close. It's gonna get real close. Oh, you know what I'm realizing? I don't actually have the requester stations. Alright, I'm 6 requester stations short. More than 6, maybe? Maybe? 2. I was 2 requester stations short. I had enough rail. Didn't have enough requester stations. I'm sad now. It ended up being 22 stations, right? Because I think I'm carrying around 20. Yep. Oh, great. Well, we'll build the factory first. Okay. Going to start with this alloy here. It's apparently... I can't do that. Where do I have the nitrogen again? Those are not Mark II. Where do I have Mark II nitrogen? Are you Mark II? You're all Mark 1. Why are you all Mark 1? I need Mark 2. Ugh. Have I even done Mark 2? I think I may have replaced any Mark 2. You are Mark 2. Thank goodness. I need 6. I need a build of 6-ish. Also, look pretty. Well, there's the nitrogen. Hi, Dolly. And go up. There's the Dolly. There's the pretty girl. Yeah, we got at least one of the kitties. She'll be here until she sees the fly. Hi. You playful? You full of energy? How's that baby? What you doing? You hunting? Are you hunting fly? Oh, this building. It's so big. Well, there's the nitrogen. Give me the alloys. Give me power. More power. Alright, that is going to be the niobium titanium alloy. Pretty much taken care of. From here, I'm going to need a mix of steam, regular and heated. But I think just a couple does it for the amount that I need. I'll put 3 down just to make sure that I always have enough. And oddly enough, both of these are kerosene, so we're good to go on that. I need to heat some. Yep, just add fuel rod, and you're good. You make hot, hot, hot steam. Oh, right, I forgot. Ahem. This is a productive process. I don't know why Helmod does not take into account that this is a productive process, but it is a productive process. I also don't know why this actual craft time doesn't tell me what the heck's going on here with the numbers, but it says 0 out. It's supposed to be 1,000 in to 1,000 out of any steam less than 500 to make it 500 C to raise the temperature. Now, this is productive at 16% currently. What's the point? There really is none. There's no point to actually doing this way. It's the amount of effort this saves. I mean, it saves fuel rod, I guess, but you're already spending a tiny fraction of a fuel rod. It's like 1 fuel rod per 1,000 units. We only need 85.8. But I guess a savings. So there's that. And I have to make sure that I'm paying attention to the temperature of steam because these particular things matter here. I just make some wood quickly. This is actually a treated wood setup. I have a treated wood setup somewhere. Where? Where is my fiberboard, I think? Fiberboard. Aha. There you are. Nope, there she goes. She's off. Off to the races. I don't need this much stuff. Ahem. I don't really need this much of the stuffs. Excuse me. Big rock. Please don't be in the way. Because apparently I only need like 1 building here. How is it I only need 1 when I need 2 of these? Also, conveniently, between the heavy oil refinery and the creosote building, it is a 1-to-1 ratio. Directly, it needs 66.67. It makes 66.67. So I don't even need these to be connected to each other. I could save an entire space between these, directly piping between them. Hello, Ollie. How's the big boy? How's the big Ollie? Does he want to say hi? No, he wants to groom. He's also in hunt mode at the moment. Well, that's that. That's that aspect. Get that pin back. So that's all of those. Looks like I need a bit of soil. I have a blueprint to make soil, even though I don't need as much as this is able to produce. I'll stick with the build that I have. Okay. Power. Can I do some combining? Not here, not with the treated wood. The treated wood can combine with Nexilite plates because it's being used to make Nexilite matrix. But the sand can combine with the limestone out. I'm surprised I'm allowed to flip the water well. I guess it makes sense. Because the port is in the direct middle. Give me good-looking pipes. Okay. That will be limestone and sand taken care of. Next I need clay. Clay is power and steam for whatever reason. This is one of those buildings that I've always been like, why do you both need power and steam? Like, come on. Come on, why do you also need steam? This as well, I'll use the multi-purpose pipe because this is going to be a big gap. Although, would it still be one with niobium pipe? No. No, it would need two. So this I do need multi-purpose. It saves me an entire pair of pipe to grounds. Alright then, that is that. I apparently need vacuum. Where am I needing the vacuum? Usually in a nano factory. Yeah, nanomaterial factory up here. That's when I'll do vacuum. For now, I need... Guess I can process the rubber next. Does the belt and clay get used together? Nope. No, but rubber and belt are used together, so I guess they're gonna share a belt line. At the very end, for whatever reason, we need both rubber as well as rubber as belts. Okay. So that'll be the rubber belt. It's taken care of. Oh, I actually need to electrolyze for hydrogen. Okay. Let's go ahead and do that. Destroy the oxygen. Okay. Hydrogen done. Oh yeah, this is the part of making boric acid and boron trioxide. Did I never put boron trioxide on the network? Either way, I need the boric acid, so oh well. 1, 2. Doink. All that going into 1. There's the boric acid, all done. Boron trioxide. Input coke. Output boron trioxide. Give power. Okay. We're already at the width of the train station. Ahem. And everything we're making is stuff that we've already done in the past. Like, all this is stuff we've done already. We have made all these things before. It's only now? Yeah, it's only now that we're actually making... Actually, no, we've made Nextlit Matrix already. We made it at, neuroprocessors before. Okay, and this is also the point where I will be bringing in and making the vacuum. How much vacuum do you need? 36. Oh gosh, that is 2. No really getting around the 2 there. It's just unfortunate because I'll be bringing in and sending out on the same side. I don't really like to do it that way, but I shall do it that way. And then the boric acid. I can go there. Alright, it could go another tile over. Let's be honest, and I can avoid an underground there. That shall be that. Give additional power poles. There we go. So this belt, I believe this is the first Nextlit. I believe this is the first Nextlit's requirement. Oh, and I already combined over here. Alright, so that'll be all that I need for the logistics for making Nextlit Matrix. Okay. Nextlit Matrix combines with niobium titanium alloy, so this is where I will bring in the niobium titanium alloy from all the way back here. all the way across to here, up, over, up. Because I will... Actually, no, I won't be making you immediately. I still need to do 5 of these. Oh boy. Nanocrystalline cellulose. This is one of those weird things that needs 500 degrees C steam. For whatever odd reason. Oh, that is my alarm to indicate that we are, in fact, halfway through today's stream. Point where I would usually take a break, but I'm... I want to complete the logistics on the nanocrystalline cellulose here, and then we will take our break. So very, very, very shortly. Here, I want to get the steam sorted. This, of course, being the 500C. From way back here. Hello, 500C steam. That is that, ideally. Both of these inputs are inputs being brought in from the train station. All it needs now is power. And that is the nanocrystalline cellulose, all logisticed up. So let us take a few minutes to take a break, just about 3-ish minutes. Get up, stretch the legs, and we will be back to continue and finish the build. There's still all of the train station logistics that we need to do for it to actually operate. But there's only like 3 more steps of buildings to place, but the logistics will take a while. I will be back shortly. And I have returned. Welcome back from our brief break. The cats are running around and going crazy. They know that there are insects out and about. They've been waiting for this opportunity. Waiting all winter long to hunt again. Niobium titanium alloy. Wait. Is this a second or a first? Huh? Oh, it's because it's you. Right, it's you. How much throughput here on the doohickeys? 1.5. So you're there, and then you are there. Okay. Well, that was easy enough to make the n-bit matrix. Do. Hello, Ave. Welcome. Welcome. You have missed Aerogel. And we are now making some special small parts. We are working on the special small part build. Somehow I've managed to keep going further and further up with each sequential piece. I seem to be building on a bit of a diagonal. Fine. It'll just be that way. Yeah, I made Aerogel actually nearby, right? Near-ish by? It's a spot with 3 train stations, right? I don't know. I've already forgotten where I built Aerogel. It's over here. Way up here. Yeah, so there's my Aerogel. It looks all nice. It's 5 per second of production. It's got the space. I could double it. With the current infrastructure, or wait for Mark IV, and that would double the throughputs. More than double because of productivity bonuses. Double for some machines. The Mark IV is only a double of Mark II on machines with a base crafting speed of 1, because it adds 1 each Mark level. So 1 to 2 doubles over Mark 1, but 2 to 3 is only a 50% improvement because it goes from 2 to 3 on crafting speed, and at Mark 4 it goes 3 to 4. So 4 is double of 2, and 2 is double of 1. On those machines only. On machines that are a bit faster at speed 1.5, they go up to 2.5 at Mark II, 3.5 at Mark III, and 4.5 at Mark IV. Mostly. And then buildings that start at 0.5 tend to go 1.5, 2.5, 3.5. So it's all a big mess on crafting speeds in this game. In Pymods is how I should really put it. Alright, this thing. We have more kerosene. We have hot air. We have refined syngas and molten glass. This is using the sand, limestone, clay, and boron trioxide, and some sodium sulfate. Okay, well, now I know that the clay and boron trioxide are going to share a belt. That is now crystal clear. And it needs 1, to 3 belts in and 1 belt out. Throughput's fine for each building. It doesn't really matter what goes where. Belt 1, belt 2, belt 3, belt 4. And as I said, it doesn't really matter what belt's what in here. Alright, I have the belt that is the combined limestone and sand. This will go this way, as suppose. Oh. Ahem. There's that one. This is a belt from the bus, or the train station setup, bringing me the sodium sulfate, because that's the only thing left. They've got all the other 4 accounted for. And this will be the glass fibers out. Glorious, beautiful glass fibers. And then we're left with the building to actually make the special small parts. Throughput is definitely a thing. I don't think at this factory that I'm going to ever want to add another building to make the special small parts. I'm pretty sure 1 is going to cover it. Cover all of my demands for at least a good long while. So all of the inputs are going to just be loaders. We're gonna have loaders in here, inputs and outputs. I need at least 5 belts of inputs plus the belt of output. None of these are greater than 15 per second, so I can share belts for basically everything, or actually for everything. Let's get the actual logistics done here, because it's going to bother me that I haven't done it. Get the inserter logistics. Excuse me. Place there. Thanks. And power logistics. Good. That's the factory. Now we have to get everything requested and brought in. This is the thing that's going to take the most time. This will take quite some time. Now, I haven't been paying as much attention. Is there anything else unaccounted for of all of this back-end stuff? There's the rubbers, yes. Ahem. There's the rubbers that are unaccounted for. Let's get this brought over. There's the rubbers. Alright, what else is unaccounted for? I think that's it. I think that's everything. Oh, the wood into the treated wood. Yeah, that would help. Yeah, wood into the treated wood. There we go. Ahem. Is there anything else? Those are provided on the trains. That's provided on the trains, and that's provided on the train. I have a +1 that's by itself, so it's probably going to be the plastic. Because these are already shared belts. So that'll be that. Huzzah! Yay! I need just 3 more belts as input, and I have the grease as well to bring in. Did I count the grease? I think so, yeah. It's the first thing. Oh boy. Oh boy. Okay. Now the inputs. Where do we even begin here? We begin with niobium and titanium. Niobium and titanium. That is our first solid input. It is not our first... Well, it's our first pair of solid inputs, but we also have a fluid input to consider as well. Wait, don't I need the kerosene? Right. Ahem. I need the kerosene for the glassworks building down here. So off we go to the glassworks building. It is that slot. There we go. There's the glassworks all done. All taken care of. I just need to get the kerosene brought in from somewhere. Probably from there. Hey. Why, hello, Ollie. Do I make this the one at the very end, I guess? All right. I need the requester stops. Let's go get the requester stops. That sounds like a plan. But no, actually not. Let's get as much belt spent as possible because I'm going to need more red belt. I'm going to need to go and restock on my red belt. So we'll start with all of the solids at the very least. So yeah, let's get my shared belt request in. So niobium and titanium. Those are what we need here. At some point down the line, I'll be able to consolidate into one requester belt. Or one requester station. S.S.P for special small parts. Right, niobium. Titanium. Oh. We're waiting on titanium. Hello, Ali. Oh, Ollie's gonna groom now next to me. Yeah, gonna rest. You enjoy your chase? Did you catch the fly? I don't see the fly around anymore. Did you catch it? Did you eat it? Did you eat it? Huh? Did you eat the fly? Please tell me you ate the fly, or at least killed it. Please have killed it. Fuel rods are next. Get the fuel rods. Oh, that's a little too far. This is also extremely dangerous work. Working from the bottom up. Because you have the trains coming in to supply the stuff that's past me. Request fuel rods at special small parts. Mark 1 fuel rods. There we go. Huzzah! Next! Next! What do we got? What do we got? Is it rubber or... Oh, right, logs. I think logs are next. Yes, they are. Come on, logs. Our logs at S.S.P. Bring on the logs. Hey, logs. Next. What is it? What is the next ingredient that isn't a fluid? The next fluid ingredient is the bitumen. But the next solid ingredient... Oh, right. This is why I check these things. The next solid ingredient is, in fact, rubber. Okay. Fortunately, the way I built it is I get to seamlessly transition which side I'm on. This now being the closest on this side and everything else being further away, now I get to work from the closest. Ah, boy. This just helps make the belts look a little nicer coming out of the train station, and we don't need to hop belt lines. Request rubber at SSPs, or SSP, whatever. Bring on the wubba, the wubbas. Next is borax. Glorious, beautiful, wonderful borax. Our borax at SSP. Bring me that borax. Next up, we have coke. You have to die. Request coke at SSP. Okay, there's the coke. Okay, next is niobium. Oh, I've messed up, haven't I? I had this belt over here that was the niobium. Oopsies. Oopsies. I can... Okay, I know how to take care of this. We'll do it on the other side, and this will be the last input from this side. Haha. Saved. Saved. We're saved. Request niobium, not niobium, nexolite at special small parts. Glorious. Wonderful. Excellent plate. Come on down. Okay. Oh, here comes Dolly from the window. What you sniffing? Why are you sniffing the curtain? Yeah, Ollie's in the way. How you gonna get past Ollie? Oh, there he goes. Trying to whack. Trying to whack and bite me. Hey Dolly. How's a pretty girl? How's a pretty girl? Your brother's trying to bite me. Yeah, trying to swap me. He's antsy. He wants to play. Okay, the next thing is a shared belt between cellulose and filtration media. That is our next input. Oh, he's leaving. He's leaving. All right, cellulose and filtration media. I want this flipped. Our cellulose at S.S.P. Our filtration media at S.S.P. Let's go. Cellulose. And filtration media. Excuse me, filtration media. Waiting on trains. Waiting on trains. At this point. Next. I think everything else may be a shared belt from here on out. Because that was these two. I don't need anything else for you. No, there's actually one more single item, and then the remaining... Alright, it's going to be a single item, 2 shared belts, and a single item again. So there's 4 things. I only have 77 units of belt left. The next item is sodium sulfate. I guess the order doesn't really matter, but... so I could do the 2 singles and then 2 doubles. Single, single, double, double. Yep, that's just how that works. Whoops. So this one will be the plastic. This one's requesting, what was it? Sodium sulfate at S.S.P. Whoops. Capital P. This one's going to be plastic at S.S.P. Yes, Dolly is here, and she's cleaning, she's grooming. Give plastic. That's not plastic, that's plastic. Then these other 2 items, these other 4 items, excuse me, are all shared belts. And it doesn't really matter which is which of these final 4. The final 4 are advanced small parts at special small parts, are aluminium at S.S.P, are super steel at S.S.P, and are Aerogel at S.S.P. Yeah, those are the final 4. And I'm going to request them. Advanced small parts are under petroleum handling. Aluminium plates under raw ores. Aerogel is fusion, I think. I always forget. Where is Aerogel? Where is Aerogel? It is under high tech. Okay. Huh? Wait. Huh? Did I rename? I renamed something that I had already set. I renamed Super Steel, didn't I? Yep. The Super Steel. I'll take the soup. Okay. So these 3 coming on down. And then you... Oops. Alright, that's all the belt logistics. We still need to do all of the pipe logistics and all of the input pipes, but I need to restock to get the missing requester stations. There's a couple of requester stations that I need still. So, restock time. I don't need any of the infrastructure anymore. Alright, I'm requesting 20 of those at a time. So I'll just leave out all that infrastructure. Just, ugh. This factory. Oh my goodness. Supply special small parts. Depot special small parts. Now, I've built this factory for 1 per second of special small parts. And I'm sure there are some of the input ingredients that I've made here among all of this that will require me to scale them if I want more than 1 special small part. So even though this one building can support up to 7.5 per second, it would require a rather massive scaling of the back end. And as I've mentioned before, I actually would like to have a separate factory making the nanocrystalline cellulose at bare minimum. Likely also the Nenbit matrix slash the whatever this stuff is called again. It's a matrix, Nextlit matrix, I think. Definitely the glass fibers, I would say, should be a separate factory. And that would replace all of these input ingredients with those direct products. Meaning the only thing that I would think I would need to make here ultimately would be the rubber belt. Actually, I think the rubber belt would be the only thing I would want here if I can provide these other 2 things on the train network and bring them in. And at that point, as long as everything else is of sufficient production, I could end up getting way more special small parts in the end. All right, I have restocked So let's head on back and get this pipe work done. Because, oh my goodness, this pipe work is going to hurt. This one's kerosene. We need kerosene. We need bitumen. Gosh, we need 6 things. We need grease. Grease is like going to be the last one we look at, though, because we're going to work from the bottom to the top. Ish, maybe. Grease is going to be last, definitely, because it's going to be the final thing on the right. We're going to work left to right on the actual factory itself. So request kerosene at S.S.P. The next thing is actually going to be requesting bitumen at S.S.P. I know for a fact. So kerosene is under raw ores for whatever reason. So kerosene. And then bitumen is petroleum handling. The bitumen input is here. Okay, nanobots. Okay, bitumen. Go, go, go. Be free. And gee, I hope I have enough bitumen for all my purposes. I have quite a bit of production of it, but you never know, it may not be enough. This will make the treated wood. That continues all the stuff here. Oh, we have some clay. Good. Clay is claying. Here, have a couple more of those just to speed up the process. I don't need that many, but we're gonna speed up the process. Oh boy. Hold up. You know what? Just no. I won't do the productivity because, as it turns out, reducing the speed is not going to give me enough of the 500C steam. Actually, this only actually produces 100 per second, and if I reduce it by 20%, that's going to bring me to 80 per second of production. I need 86, and I don't feel like adding another building. Okay, next I've got... What? Oh, you need your... Uh-huh. See, I completely forgot to add in all of this stuff. Oh, and I forgot to even add you there as well, so that's lovely. Ah, yeah, and you. And the inserters. Yeah, that would help too. That would help a lot. Okay, so 3, 4? Yeah. That's the rest of the fluids. Let's get these belts done. And just be careful. I don't want to die again. I haven't died in this stream so far. I want to keep it that way. I already died twice this morning setting up those advanced small parts on the train network. Okay, that is all of the belt done. What is left? What is left is the hot air. Yes, the trains are supremely fast, and thus why there be issues with dying. Thus why death is always going to be upon me. All right, we've got hot air, we've got refined syngas, and the molten glass. I believe that's the order. Yeah. Hot air, refined syngas, molten glass, and then, of course, the last one is the grease. And I want to take this opportunity to get them all lined up together. Okay. So the first one is hot air. Whoops. Right, bring it out. Okay, good. They will all stretch the remainder of the way. So unfortunate about you. Okay. Hot air, refined syngas, molten glass, and grease. Phew. All right. Hot air. Refined syngas. Molten glass. And grease. Now, what tab is grease under? I never will remember for the life of me. Grease. There you are. Now, once all of that is brought in, I should have special small parts. I should just have them. They'll be done. Huzzah, yay! Because I'm pretty sure. There we go. We are now making glass fibers. Just waiting on the grease delivery now. Come on, grease. I know you can do it. Come on. Get over here. Must be... I think it's fairly far away, but... There it is. Grease has happened! And now we have the most special of small parts. The specialist of small parts. There they go. Hi. Huzzah. Huzzee, huzzoo, huzzum. We are actually limited by the glass fiber production, it looks like. This is fine. Sadly, I can't make you more efficient or productive. It sucks. But hey, we did the thing. We finally have all of the small parts. And they're all on the train network. This is a first. This is a very first. I have never had. I do not believe I have ever had all of the small part variants on on a train network at the same time, or at all. Really, I haven't had them. Generally speaking, on the train network. Period. Before now, I have all three. I am advanced casting regular small parts, and then this morning I set up the advanced small parts on the train network. I am making some in the mall as well, but special small parts, they're used for quite a few things. So I'm going to be providing them on the train network. As for why I haven't done this before, why I haven't really wanted to like provide these on the train network before, at least not in their own dedicated factory previously on previous playthroughs, is because I've gotten, by the time I made them, I was starting to get lazy and relied a lot on my mall to produce things. Relying on the robots in my mall to produce things. And in the event that I would need small parts, I would actually make them in the mall and provide them from the mall onto the train network and have my bots make them. So I have not really done belts making these things ever in the past. I've always had them be like requested by bots and had bots made these. First time for everything. I wanted this base to focus on the trains primarily. I didn't want to rely on my robots to make any critical infrastructure, including things like the small parts to the remainder of the base. I don't want to provide anything that's produced in the mall to the rest of the base. The mall is the consumer, not a producer. So this will always consume and not produce. The only minor exceptions are I need to be able to create my first creatures somewhere. I need to be able to upgrade creatures somewhere, and it may as well be the mall. So the things that it provides, I would still say it's providing infrastructure. It's not providing the parts to make the infrastructure or the parts to make the science. Anyway, that is now done. I need to make my station priority for special small parts. That is down here. D special small parts. Now, I'm not going to bring them into the mall yet. Even though, you know, that's the point. Even though that is the point, I can officially make blue belts now. I can make blue belts now. You don't think you've ever had a fully loaded 1-2 train? I have fully loaded 1-2 trains on sodium hydroxide as well as ores. Because contrary to my desires to not ever move ore by train, I'm moving ore by train in this playthrough. I have every ore type on my trains at this point. Of the metal producing ores, as well as phosphate rocks and a few other ore things. I even have kimberlite. I even went and I snuck in kimberlite on the train network just so that I could have them separated from each other, the mining from the processing. Those circumstances, I'm using the full double wagons, the full high-tech double wagons, which have extra space in them. I can see also wanting the full capacity on Coke as well. There are a few things, and you need to design your stations and your rail network around your largest train, around the largest train, ideally. Yeah, the spacing I would do based around the largest train. I think it's still, I don't really think it matters so much. Really, I mean, it matters more on intersections to make your intersections more efficient. I think if you're designing around the smallest train, but eh, eh, I'd stick with one size because, like, definitely your stations, you'd probably want to design the stations around the largest train size on the network because that's going to determine your spacing for everything and the actual size for everything. Because then you'd be stuck in a situation where you'd have to make another type of station, right? If you want to use a different train size. And you would need to like cascade that every time you need to request the item that's being made and provided by the train that's on a bigger loadout. But anyway. So I can do blue belts, which also means I can do the upgraded, the ultra fast version as well. So I can actually upgrade my belts from 30 items per second to 90 items per second. Right now, I can do that. I'm not going to immediately in this stream. What instead I'm going to do is set up Vatbrain biocomputing for purple science. That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to Vatbrain some purple science. I will need to make the brains, and I will do it the proper way by making them out of Arthurians here, because the Arthurians, of course, give 2 brains. They give 2. I will need to cage them, and I will need cages. There we go. Give me a few cages for the loop here. All right, give me a Vatbrain. And give me slaughter. Oh, I have slaughterhouses. Okay, that's fine. I will need to make the crude oil out of bitumen and hydrogen, but I have this infrastructure to do that. Otherwise, everything else is being brought in by train. Yep, everything else is brought in by train. And that will be that. It shall be. It shall be. Okay, get the pin and slide that over. Train station, where do I want it? Where do I want this? Albeit temporary production of purple science. You know, I think I'm going to do it here and belt the purple science across. Because this is my science processing right in here. This is science. Technically, I could belt the pie science, green science, blue science over from over there to this Vatbrain. but we shall see. We shall see. I guess I can request those sciences here as well. Just 1, 2, +1. Okay, that's fine. 2 belts. I need 6. Yep, 6 solid inputs. And 3 fluid inputs. There we go. Oops. I don't have any more rail. I didn't restock my train. Oopsies. Need more rail. I don't really need 4 of these. Ahem. I don't really need any of this, actually. Now that I'm thinking about it. Yeah, I don't even need this part of this station. Like, this is just superfluous. Superfluous, yes. It's poofed. Gone. Way more than enough belt for that. I can actually restore the bits here. There we go. That's better. That's better. Because I don't even need like this station. Excuse me, but yes, this can be mined. Because I'm gonna belt the purple science across the intersection to here. Like I'm just gonna belt it from here to here. Whoops. Anyway, so I'll do this here. 1. Vent the hydrogen. Make crude oil. No, vent the oxygen, buddy. I'm using the hydrogen. All right. Cage the Arthurians. Ahem. Productive. There we go. There's our 20% productivity bonus. Sadly, we don't get more. Ahem. Do 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 do. Do do do. Gosh, I want those ultra fast belts because of the ultra fast underground belt being distant. Being distant. Ultra fast. Yeah, these guys. 30 on its max length versus 15. You know, twice the underground distance. It's quite good. It's quite good, actually. Yep, cages and output and input and cages and power. Okay. That just leaves the biocomputer. Ta-da! You see this number right here? This counter right up here? That's how many hours I've been playing this save. How many hours? That many hours. 525 hours and 45 minutes. Just a few. Just a few hours on this save. Just a few. We're just getting started, he says halfway through. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. So I'll need something brought in. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Power. Output. Oh, yes, the Vatbrain. Yes, this is the one that proclaims, "Bow before me." There, it just actually said it. Don't think you could hear it, but it just said it. Yeah, very large blocks. I would not refer to it as city block. My conception of what a city block is supposed to be is that each individual block is devoted to one thing and one thing only. This is multi-purpose blocks. It's fitting in whatever I want to fit in on each individual block. Like, it's meant to be multi-factory blocks. It's just laid out this way because it's better organization that way, not so much to have each thing be its own thing that I can like copy and paste to other things. My on the rails, well, I never finished on the rails because of Pi Alien Life releasing. Pydu Valley, that series, was a organic spread out train base. But yeah, I did a similar style to this when I was playing Pi Block. When I was playing Pi Block, I had a grid like this. It wasn't the same size of spacing between the things, I think, and I had my robots building my rails on a massive bot network, and I wasn't even at. Oh, I didn't get to Circuit 2s on that playthrough. No one watched it. Literally no one watched it. So I stopped streaming it. Yes, bow before me. That, oh, that thing. Oh, the Vatbrain. Bow before the Vatbrain. What's my favorite layout type? I like the organic spread, but I mean, this playthrough has been... It's been very convenient to build in this way. I haven't had to think as much about spacing on things and like having to build within a specific size because I've made these so big. Yeah, I think I do at this point prefer this method just because I am not going to ever be in a situation where I'm like going to the left and always going to the left and always going to the left and always going to the left. Like building organically as I did in Paidu Valley ends up with specific circumstances where there are segments of the rail network that become very high traffic, and you end up with circumstances where you end up having your trains be throughput limited because you just can't fit enough trains down the lines, where you would have to quote unquote upgrade them potentially to 4-lane rather than the back and forth 2-lane. Here, because there are more intersections, there's not as many issues with the number of trains that are online at any given time. They're able to easily take more efficient routes if there are a whole bunch trying to go to the same location. They can work around each other. So this one's requesting Arthurians at that P. Next is a single input. Doesn't really matter what. I guess this can be the special small parts. Request S.S.P. at that P. All right, that's that one done. Next is this one. And then 2 shared belts of science. Oh my goodness, so many special small parts. Oh, the beautiful special small parts, the specialist of small parts. There they are. They're so special. Do I still have this? Yes, I do. Okay. Excellent. Excellent at S.S.P. That's not S.S.P. This is VAT-P. R Chem Science at S.S.P. R Pi Science at S.S.P. and R Logi Science at S.S.P. Then we have 3 fluids, all of which are going in the other direction than what I have them. Every single time I send things out on the other way. Request, whatever this is, bitumen at that P. At that P. At that P. Okay. I don't have a blueprint book. I don't really do blueprint books. Not of the stuff I've made. I mean, the grid is not something I can say that I made myself. The rail network is on my Discord. It is the Kano what's the name of it? Foundation rails. Just search for the foundation rails by Cano, whatever numbers there are after their name. It has a fix that I posted on my Discord. I think I posted the fix to the big thingy. But yeah, I did not make these rails. I just decided upon a spacing for them. That's all I really did. Is I took the size of the big intersection. I was like, okay, we're going to have enough for 3 big intersections between each big intersection. That's all I have, is just 3 big intersections between intersections. And I've got like a measuring stick with radars. Just like copy, paste across the whole thing. Okay, bitumen. And I don't tend to share the individual builds. I will occasionally post pictures, but I don't think people learn very much if they just use a blueprint to grab an entire factory. So let's see. What is this one again? This one is not Zogna. Our honey at that P. And this one will be our fetal serum at that P. So give me honey, honey, and give me fetal serum. Okay. Belts. Gosh, it's so dark. It's like, did I not turn on? Oh. Did I not have the mod that makes things brighter? I don't see it. I usually have that, but I guess I missed it this time. Oh well. No wonder it's been so dark at night. Huh. Could have sworn I had it, though. Okay, you are logistics science. You are pie science. You are chemical science. And you are just Nexlet plates. Okay. Pipes. Yes, this is the this is standard locomotive speed for these high-tech locomotives. This is how fast they go. So the reason why these are so fast is that Nexlet batteries, which is their only fuel source, increases their acceleration by 200% and their top speed by 50%. Or 150% of their top speed gets added on. So yeah, they're also really fast. So they've got 367 plus 184 kilometers an hour on their top speed. But not only that, the wagons weigh less than standard wagons. They have a weight value of 400 as opposed to a weight value of 1,000 on regular wagons. So they can accelerate much faster to their top speeds. Not only are they much faster at their top speed, they can hit their top speed incredibly quickly, and they can also stop faster. They can also brake faster because of that too. Ah, boy. Yeah, just, stuff. Things. They're good trains. They're really, 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 really good trains. So, fetal serum and honey. Unfortunately, I did these in the reverse order, but whatever. And that, as they say, is that. You are not productive. I can make you move faster just to, try to cycle things a little bit more quickly. It's still only going to make, 0.03 per second. And it's going to use half of my small parts production to do that. My special small parts production to do that. Yeah, just, actually, no, I'm going to be limited by brains. What am I thinking? I'm going to be limited by brains. I'm not going to be limited by the small parts. I need to add another building to give me more brains. Yeah. So I have my 1 production science pack. Ahem. You know what? Let's go ahead and do that. Let's just do that thing. Get some more brains. And I will now have officially 0.003 production science produced per second. Ta-da! Just in case I had another science. Let's add all of these. Not like they're needed, but whatever. Give power. Huh. Now, as we wait for, several hundred to happen. Ugh. I think I've actually finally managed to do everything that I had planned to do during a single stream, and we still have another 10 minutes to go. I've done everything that I wanted. I wanted to start getting production science today. That was my long-term hope. My stretch goal for today's stream was to do this. Because remember, we started with Aerogel today. Over here somewhere. Yep. Started with Aerogel and built this out. A whole up to 5 per second. Why are you not moving? Oh, I need more methane, most likely. Yeah, I was thinking about that. I was thinking about how, oh hey, I'm probably gonna need some more methane production. Yeah, we're stuck here right now. Yeah, because I have this 62 as Mark 1 and 62 as Mark 2 giving me methane, but it's not enough. What can I do? So I have 15 per second of moondrop being produced, so that's useful to know. There are abiotic ways of getting into methane, it's just I don't want to do that. There's also gas bladders. Do I really want a fertilizer? Do I really want a fertilizer for 50? Not really, no. I want a CO2. Yeah, this isn't the CO2 recipe. This is not the CO2 recipe. That's a big problem. Oh, it only saves time. Ew. Yeah, I guess it doesn't matter then. The CO2 is free, don't get me wrong, but it's only saving on greenhouse count. That's it, because it takes half the time. It's just sad that if I want 1,000 methane, yeah, that's a few. That is a few buildings, and it will cost some moondrop, a few moondrop. It will cost this much moondrop, no matter what. That's the other thing. Is like there's only the 2 recipes to make the methane. I mean, there's the fertilizer that cuts it down to 7.5, but 20 fertilizer though. But you know, 20 of it per second. That's a lot. Yeah, it's a lot. I mean, 11.2 bones, that's quite a few, even if doing it through Fagnots. 1.6, I mean, I'm only making, well, I'm making 7.5, I think, on the Fagnots, so... I guess I can do it. I mean, the blood will come from Muckmo. So we're talking to get 1,000 methane here, doing this way. Is there... I don't think there's... Oh. No, there's no phyto mining. Like, the phyto mining is going to spend me methane. There's no phyto mining to give me methane. Because this is basically that. And it's not, I don't really want to spend the nickel to convert syngas to methane either. Are we really at the point where I may be considering an abiotic methane to get it at scale? Don't know. Don't know. My only reason for considering the fertilizer recipe is because it saves me like 20% or whatever ish on the moondrop. It saves me a few moondrops. It brings it down to 7.5. As opposed to 12 and a half. I mean, yeah, we're talking a difference of 5 units per second of moondrop at the cost of 20 units per second of fertilizer. And a big reduction in the amount of greenhouses I need. It's just, is it really going to be worth all of this and all of the infrastructure to make these? And the infrastructure to make the aromatics for the ashen biomass and the urea. I don't really think so. I think I'd rather double my moondrop again, or scale this moondrop again, because I think this is actually a full red belt of throughput. I think this is 30. I can spare 12 and a half. It's just I need a big space to fit 318 greenhouses. Yeah. But I will do that between streams. Most definitely I would want to do that between streams. Expand methane via moondrop to approximately 1,000 per second. So there's that. Moving forward from here, the next major goals, now that I am starting on some trickle of purple science, it will take a very long time to get individual purple techs with Vatbrain biocomputing here. My goals going forward. Well, we need to work on getting actual purple science. Like, that's like duh. I don't think I want to wait around for Vatbrain biocomputing to give me all of the purple science techs. I could theoretically do that, but it's not going to be useful to me when I get into utility science. I'm going to want to have actual production of my production science to get into utility science. And I'm going to get into initial utility science through Vatbrain biocomputing. And I'll need 10 times the production of purple science to make the few-ish relatively units of utility science that I need before I can actually get the proper recipe that I want to do for utility science. Because again, utility science, my plan is to set up this recipe using solidified sarcoris, perigen, negacium, denaturated seismite, destabilized toxurus, non-conductive phasogen, all these cotton gut products for utility science. The thing with the utility science is that this recipe does not unlock until you have utility science. It is a tech that is locked behind utility science. So, Vatbrain, for this dodges having to make perfect samples completely. I don't have to make perfect samples at all if I do this way. It does involve a bit of satellite launching. That's how you get this destabilized toxurus. That is actually the result of launching satellites now. So yeah, it's not particularly awful. It's not particularly awful. We do have to go and do... Which one did I take? The 40%. Duh. I do have to do the make the Schrodinger antelope and process the dimensional gastrokorg from them for this. And I do have to get hormonal thought org from them, which is from anti-tumor simic. So I guess I do have to make anti-tumor. Why are there two different anti-tumor? What? Okay. But yeah. So that's the thing. That's the ultimate plan, but I need to Vatbrain a little bit to unlock the tech that gives me this version recipe, and I can go from there. But as to the plan as in next stream, well, I think everything at this point points towards great alien samples, which the only real thing here that's left that I still need to make is graphene rolls for the great samples. I mean, chitin I will get from... Oh god, I can get it from simic? I can also get it from archods. I might, for this purpose, get it from the archods, because it's simpler, but I only need graphene. So I think next stream is graphene rolls. Yeah, our next stream on Tuesday is going to be graphene rolls. Do I have that broken down anywhere in here? I could have sworn I did that. Or was it part of my cleanup? Did I delete it? Did I delete it, or is it here? I'm trying to spot graphene rolls. I don't see you. I may have accidentally deleted it. That may have been a thing as well. Or it's nested in one of these. I don't remember you. So graphene rolls are made out of graphene sheets, out of PDMS base, made out of PDMS and nickel cores, you know, more methane. Methyl dichlorosilane, which needs grade 4 copper. Chloromethane, out of methanol and hydrogen chloride. Some of this can take productivity. Most of this can take productivity if I want 5 graphene rolls. Probably more than that. Consider that one great alien sample needs 5.6 graphene rolls. I don't need one. I don't really need one of these. In fact, I can get away with 0.1 of these. I'll make it 0.2 for now. Because I only really plan on building the 5 to begin with here. Anything else I need to break down here? I mean, yeah, there's the boric acid, diborane breakdown. There's hydrogen to make. That's not the recipe. That's the recipe. There's pure sand from sand. Soil from water. Provide the water. And that, I believe, is the factory. That is the factory right there for making graphene rolls. And that's what we will do next time. I'll have to figure out what else to do next time. Probably making the great alien samples. How does that sound? The goal for next time, at minimum, is to make great alien samples. This will unlock several creatures that I need to continue towards the standard recipe for production science, which is up here. The standard recipe for production science has a whole bunch of stuff. We already are one ingredient. We have one of the 5. We could do the nuclear samples already. Like, this is the simplest of the other remaining parts, but alien enzymes. Oh boy, we need Fat-Eye. We need Vonix. And I believe we also need Scrondrix, but I don't think the Scrondrix is this step. It's somewhere, though. Scrondrix. Oh, yeah, it's here. We need the pineal glands for Scrondrix to make the advanced coating because it needs chitosan. Yeah, anything that needs chitosan. If you also need chitosan, something else needed chitosan. Was it the... I thought more than one thing needed chitosan. I don't remember. Honestly, I don't remember anymore. I think the bio batteries need something. Oh yeah, the nanofibrils for the bio batteries need chitosan, so that's another big build in and of itself. So we need the Scrondrix for the pineal glands, and we need the Dingrits for the Dingrit spikes. So here we have, and we need diamonds, and diamonds on top of all of that. So there's great alien samples, diamonds, Dingrit, Scrondrix, Fat-Eye, and Vonix. Oh boy, all these, those are the, like, quote-unquote big builds. Most of the quote-unquote big builds that are blocking actual purple science right now. And of course there's, you know, circuit 3s. And of course there's, you know, circuit 3s. Just the circuit 3s. Ahem. To make control units. And, you know, the bio batteries. You know, those little things that don't require too many ingredients at all. Oh, yeah. So, good luck to me, I suppose. We have a laundry list of things to do. Most of the animals I'll do off-screen, but all of the animals, actually, I'll do off-screen because of the whole positive feedback loop stuff taking way too long to do really together. And once you've seen how to make one animal, you've pretty much seen how to make all of them at that point, because it's all the same types of processes across the board. But with that, having now made Aerogel special small parts and Vatbrain biocomputed for the purple science, this is where we're going to end things off for the day, folks. With that, I would like to thank you all for watching. This has been Otaku Showboat. If you have enjoyed today's stream, full of progress, please be sure to do all of the social and engagement stuff down below the video. Leave a like, leave a comment, subscribe if you have not yet subscribed, and hit the notification bell. Consider becoming a member of the channel by hitting the great big blue join button and supporting on Patreon at patreon.com/otakushowboat if you are so inclined and able. I will be back on Tuesday to take care of graphene and work on getting into those great alien samples. I, of course, will see you all then.